Okay, we've progressed pretty far with all of these tutorials here. We sped through the design. We kind of went very quickly through the animation. Again, these are things that you will probably want to go back and tweak and spend a little bit more time on as far as the animations and or the whole look of things. Let's start with this full page here. And yes, again, this is a very 2D look and perhaps a little bit too flat for you. One of these things that we can do is add some flares for additional depth and or color and or pop. So what I'm going to do is just work within this full page here. We're going to make a new group here, and let me just call this flares. Now, we did do a couple of flares in these tutorials throughout some of these scenes, but you may want to go back and add a couple more flares if you have some. So here I have a blue flare, and what I'd like to do is just drag this down, and immediately I wanted to address the Z position. So wherever we want to place this flare, we would just want to place it above everything else. And here, as we adjust the Z position, you can see when it finally comes above all the other layers. Now, what I like to do with my flares is to use this expert. Now I have my expert within my favorites folder, so I just drag it down onto that flare. I go into my expert and I turn on the add for the render mode. You can use these other render modes. You can try them depending on what your scene looks like or how you built it. You know, you may get different looks with it. So in our example, there's probably only 3 render modes that will work here: a max, a blend, or an add. I'm going to keep mine on add. I'm going to go into the transformation editor, change my scaling to single, and I'm just going to spread this out a little bit. Let's just readjust it, and as you can see when I bring it up to the top, how it affects it. So maybe I just want to keep a flare there. I'll go ahead and just copy this flare, and we can move this to a different position here. And as you can see, when we do move it, how it affects the scene. Again, I have the scaling all the way out, and the Y scale is scrunched up. So if you want to, you can scale that up as well and then have this effect, and or rotate around however you want. So I'm just going to add another one here, and we'll add this somewhere near the bottom. And again, our Z position, since our back plate is rotated, we'll have to bring our Z position all the way up. And here you can see the flare. So let's take it back, and as I take it back, you can see that little cut there. Now it's behind the box, in front of the box. Again, it has the expert function on it, and I can bring it down here. If I want to place it inside of this box, I can do that, or if you want to go behind it, or however you want this flare to react, you can, but it will add a little bit of pop to your scenes.